Hello, crafty friends. Welcome to my craft room. I'm Yvonne with Amjur, On My Mind, Journaling, and more. Realizing today is Monday the 23rd, I just finished doing some actual journaling in my March signature, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about the theme and the prompts I have for this month. So the theme is the greatest show, everyday life. And so I had been brainstorming for maybe 6 months last year, trying to figure out what style journal I wanted to do. Um, just throughout the year, how I wanted to be a little bit consistent but also challenge myself. And so I know last year I was pulling randomly these prompts that I had, and I pulled 5, and it was fun for me. So this year I decided I wanted to every month have some sort of theme. And I literally just used the back of my planner and just jotted down a bunch of notes, did like brainstorming, all for months. And so I have chosen all of the themes for the entire year. Now for March, the theme was circus, and thinking about the show The Greatest Showman. And so that when I got down to it for March, I was like, well, how in the world am I going to incorporate a circus theme in a March journal? And so I kind of changed it up, and, really and truly, we are documenting everyday life. And if you think you don't have anything to journal about, you do. There's a lot of things that go on throughout the day that make up our full 24 hours. So, you wake up, you go to work, you maybe go out to lunch with some coworkers, you come home in the afternoon and pick up a report card from your child's school. Just those things that we don't generally document make up our everyday life. So that's kind of the theme I was going for in March. And I haven't done any of the prompts, but for January and February, I also did a monthly challenge for myself. And really and truly, the theme, the greatest show, is everyday life. I wanted to literally document a full day. Woke up this time, this, did that, did. And so I did that. I happened to do it on March 19th. I created this little meme, and I posted this on my Instagram. And so throughout the day, I jotted down. Now, normally my notes look like this, not, just the highlights. And I have some more in here, just the highlights. Some of them get a little bit long. This is a couple of days. So this day, I literally started documenting first thing in the morning, up 5:45, coffee, out with the dogs. And so I did that throughout the entire day. And don't mind my scrabbly handwriting. The 19th, happened to be a Thursday, so I was at the office. And so then when I got to thinking about how was I going to incorporate this into my journal, I went back through and read my notes, and I kind of highlighted some items that I could showcase on the page and then fill in with my actual journaling. So that's the plan for today, to document a day in my life. And on the 19th, I do have a blank page. However, I think I want to put this journal, this documenting my day into my true junk journal. I don't know if I want to call this a junk journal. This is going to be, I put this together earlier this year, and it's this book, Wreck This Picture book, cut up. I made a 2-inch, maybe this is a 1.5 inch spine, and I used some of the pages. I think every other page is a page from the book, and then I just filled in the gaps with other elements. Ooh, I think that page actually got into the camera. So I don't want to do this from front to back. This is the first page I've done in this book. We did this together, and it happened to be the February challenge, which was to find a poem, write it down, and then illustrate it. So it was a lot of fun to put together. I did in my other junk journals, I didn't date things. So then I don't think I did this on camera, but I went back through and just put a date stamp on when I actually did this page. So I'm going to do that today. I also, before we get going, I want to make sure, apologize about that. Spring has truly sprung, and my allergies are kicking in full force. It is yellow pollen season here in eastern North Carolina, and if you know, you know. I'll just leave it at that. So I am highly allergic to yellow pollen. All right, so I do have on my Etsy, in my Etsy shop, which there is not a lot of products on my Etsy shop. Just not sure it's profitable, but I'm going to see this year out and see where it goes. I'm tossing around some other ideas that I might do out, locally. Most of the things I sell are locally. But what I had brainstormed end of last year is to go along with my monthly themes. I also wanted to put together a little monthly kit. So I've listed January and February's kits on my Etsy channel. And so I do have March out there. So this is, and you can, if you go to my Etsy shop, which I'll put the link down below, this list will be there. But I'll just show you now. This is what I made for my personal journal. There will be enough beads and chain and jewelry findings to put together something very similar to this. You'll get these cute little crocheted wooden balls. These are some pastel round beads that were left over from my January. There'll be the silver chain length. Let's see, 5.5 inches of silver chain. The lobster claw, a bunch of jump rings, and these little end cap beads, and also the posts. They are, what is the exact wording for it? Lobster claw. Here we go. The head pins. There'll be some head pins so that you can make these little clusters of beads, basically, and then the floral head pin on the end. So I enjoy putting these together. Oh, and this cute little balloon animal silver charm. And so this was put together, themed, thinking about the monthly theme, which was the greatest show, everyday life, and circus. So these look like little balloons to me. So that's part of the kit. And then I have all this other stuff. And so there's this floral tissue paper. It's one sheet, which will probably just wrap everything in the boxes, but it's a full sheet. This is 19 by almost 14 inches. I used this on my March journal cover, front and back. I put some cardstock over the composition book and then decoupaged the tissue paper front and back. So I love how that turned out. I think it's gorgeous for March. So there's the tissue paper. Then there's this gold star ribbon. Excuse me, my throat is dry. And I think I want to try to use some of this on this page about documenting, my everyday life from start to finish. I think I'm putting it in a knot. So it's just this cute star ribbon. Again, I had this circus theme in mind when I put this kit together. So there would be that. How many inches? 24 inches of that gold star ribbon. And then this cute little French fry box, a striped, literally it's a box, so that looks like a French fry box. And in that, you've seen this in my January signature, there will be a popcorn bag, clean, not used. There will be now these three items will vary in style, but very similar. There'll be a circus themed postcard. They're blank on the other side, so you can use this as a tip-in, a journal card, however you want to do. There'll be one circus themed postcard. There'll be this cute little, it's actually a birthday invitation. There'll be one of those. You can cut that off and use the cute elephant or however you want to do that. There's a couple elements you can cut out of that. And then in there's these carnival tickets. Now these are plasticky, so I haven't used these in my journal yet, but just know they have a sheen to them. And then there'll be another postcard. This is garden themed because around here March is planting time, which I haven't planted much. You saw me use one on the first one of these postcards. Now these will vary on the first day. Actually, I don't think I recorded that part. So this is the first page of my March journal, and I've been getting ready to put a greenhouse in, and this is one of those garden cards, and I put the picture of where we are, so nowhere near ready, on the 1st of March, and did my journaling on the back of that. So they will vary, but they're all garden themed, circus themed, and then a cute little vellum envelope with a bunch of little goodies in here. There's this is like business card style. This has a little sheen to it too, with the clovers on it. Then there's these pet stickers, PET material. They're floral. They're beautiful to me. There's 4 of those, and then some circus themed stickers. 3 of those. Is that right? Let me look. Carnival themed stickers, 3, yes. Styles vary. So I think the floral stickers will all be very, very similar, but the carnival stickers will be a little different. So that's the March kit. There are still some January and February kits available. So that's that. Now I want, no, this is mine. The beads will come in a little pouch, a little, where are they? What are they called? I can't even think of what they're called. They'll come in one of these pouches with all the jewelry findings and beads in here. So, okay, I'm gonna set this aside. I want to try to use at least this on this page, but I'll probably put that on last. Okay, so where'd it go? Here it is. So now this is going to be random in this book. It's not going to be in chronological order. If I waited for perfection, I would never write a word. How true is that? That's got to go in here somewhere. So, a day in my life, I think, is going to need a double page spread. So now, remember I said I went back and I highlighted kind of the highlights of what I wanted to illustrate. And I've got a bunch of things. I've just got some, I think this is just clip art that I had in my stash. And then I printed, now this idea is from Messy Missy Creates. She does a lot of clip art in her journals. So I went and found some, let me jot that down. I went and found a bunch of clip art to help me document my day. And so those are kind of the elements that will go on here. So there's quite a few, as you can see, quite a few. So you can see how much truly happens in a day. So I know I'm going to need a 2-page spread. So I'm just going to randomly flip and find a page that I think might be suitable. That might work. I like this, but I think I want the full breadth of it. And this is just a little short. So then I can't use this one. That's kind of cute. I looked at this last night and I was like, that's kind of cute, kind of looking out over all these little memes. I just don't know if they'll all fit. They might. They might. I should have cut these out. Oh, Lordy. I might fast forward. I might edit this video, and while I'm cutting those out, kind of speed it up so you don't have to be too bored. Let's see. The smallest sounds in the universe. Can you squint your ears to hear better? That might work. But I tend to think I go with what I first stop at. So on the first signature, now there's 2 signatures in here. I like this 2-page spread, but I do want to flip through the second signature just to be sure, because maybe I want to go do 1 page in the first signature, 1 page in the second signature. This would work, but it's not a double page. This is really busy, but I kind of like that it's really busy. You are this rock, free falling. Okay. Let's see. Don't want to get something that I'm not going to want to cover up. This could work. But I like the rock, but I like the banner. That, okay. I'm not going to flip through anymore. I think I just made my decision. So this is the double page spread that's going to document a day in my life. Okay. And so, all right, at this point, I'm going to just trim out and cut out all these clip art. So I'm going to go silent and I'll piece this together so that I can. Okay. I absolutely hate piecing together videos, but I think it will be worthwhile because I had so much cutting out to do. That goes over there, and then I will want one of these stickers. Okay, so I'm just going to start placing things and just going through my list. So I was up at 5:45, and wait, I want to get this somewhere too. A day in my life, maybe it goes something like this. I'm just going to see. I'm trying not to cover up this. 5:45. And then, while I was having my coffee, I watched, where did it go? AJ's Inspired Life. Open up her pocket letter. So cute. Let me write that down too, so I make sure to tag. Can't read my own handwriting. My handwriting is horrible. Okay. So, watched AJ's Inspired Life, open her pocket letter, woke up Bree and Robert. I think all this is going to be in my lettering. I did take a picture of my outfit. I wore green and purple. I don't know if it'll fit here. It's in my March signatures stuffed in on this day. Drop Bree off to school, and then on the way to work, don't do what I do. On the way to work, I listened to my own video just to make sure I tag everybody and just to make sure. And so got to work, set up my computer, checked emails. Thought there was some kind of meme. Maybe I didn't print it out about. No, but there's one for later. Okay. Ate my packed breakfast, which I don't have a meme for. Answering emails. Okay, and then I had to update some spreadsheets. Okay, I'm trying to do like this, maybe. And so if I do that, I had a bedtime there. We've got to end there. All right, so I worked on updating some spreadsheets. Then I did some quotes, I put in for vacation, but I think that's going to go later in the day when I clock out. No, this is not going to go there. Then I had a meeting with my team, and after that, I stopped and chatted, just random chit chat, not literally at the water cooler, but water cooler chat. And then went back and checked more emails. My husband texted me to tell me he sold his motorcycle, which he's been trying to sell it for a while. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's his motorcycle. So he had to drop off the bike to do the inspection and all that stuff. And then I ate leftovers for lunch. So is there a specific color I want? I don't know. Let's see. How about this blue? It might show up better on this brown. That's the darkest one. Leftovers for lunch. I usually try to pack my lunch for work. And all right. And then after lunch, I checked more emails. Worked on some more spreadsheets. And I did some brainstorming on an idea I had, which I didn't grab that sticker. I stopped at a store the other day, and I don't know if I've mentioned this here, but I have always dreamed about opening a store. And in my lifetime, I have never figured out how to make that happen. So I did some like crunching numbers on a break and realized that the space I was looking at was just going to be too much. So then I also did, where is it? Here it is. I did some online shopping. And I ordered Busch Garden tickets. Ooh, maybe that's where I can use that ticket. Where did I put the ticket? I think it's in my capsule. Yes, here it is. I ordered Busch Gardens tickets. And then I see I'm not going to fit. I finally, this whole time I've been working on spreadsheets and knowing my evaluation is due. So I finally submitted my evaluation. It was due the next day, I think. Yep, the 20th. So I submitted my evaluation and just more emails. Oh, and then did some stretches. See, I'm already running out of room. Did some stretches because I had been working on spreadsheets and just sitting in front of the computer a lot. So I wanted to make sure I did some stretches. And okay, Ooh, and I wanted to note that on this day, I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I'll trim this one down a little bit more. On this day, I emptied my email box. It was empty. 0 in my inbox when I left for work this day, which was amazing. I'm usually buried. But it's the time of year, honestly. Let's see. I'm just trying to trim this up a bit to save some space. Did some stretches. And on the, when I got home, me and my husband sat out on our back deck, drinking a cup of coffee. And then I made dinner. I'm running out of room here. Made dinner. But hold on. I took the next day off. So coffee, dinner. Went through my granddaughter's schoolwork, signed up for a parent-teacher conference, and then after cleaning up, I'm finally in my craft room. Why did I have this canceled? Not sure. I'll have to go back through. Finally in my craft room. I just wrote what I did. And then we watched some TV with the dogs. Yes, they like to watch TV. Cookie watches TV. She really does. Scruffy just sleeps, but she watches TV. I did my journal. I have a 1-line-a-day journal that I've been doing this year. Thought I had a journal. That's all right. But wait. If I'm going to play this out, I'm going to play it out. I thought I had it. Maybe I just put it in here. This is just some new stuff I toss in as I find it. I swear. No, maybe I've just lost it. All right. Okay, it was a little book, but it'll be okay. Oh, I put that up there backwards. All right, so watch the TV with the dogs, and then went to bed. And I logged the time I went to bed, I think. Yes. Yes. Not sure what got canceled. Thursdays. Do I usually have a meeting on Thursdays? Maybe this was not for this day. Okay, I'm putting that back in that. But I am going to pause this video because I do want to try to find that little journal that I was thinking of. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I didn't find the one I was thinking of, but I found this little book that I'll use. So before TV, I did the journal and then went to bed. Okay, so my idea of this free-flowing thing is not going to work. So maybe I'll just do across. Yes. So that means this and this can fit there. This will slide over. Spreadsheets. Water cooler. No. Motorcycle. Leftovers. More spreadsheets. It's funny. I like this. Maybe with enough spreadsheets, life will make sense. Not. Okay. And then, did I take another break after that? Yeah, I did. Oh, I think it was lunchtime. So yeah, at lunch, I ate my lunch, did some online shopping, ordered Busch Gardens tickets, had that idea, and I did some math. Then I submitted my evaluation, took some stretches, and is that it for work? Yep. And then it's vacation time because I'm off tomorrow, or the 20th. And then came home, drank coffee, cooked dinner, went through the book bag and signed up for a parent-teacher conference. That's kind of side by side, honestly. Did that while I was cooking. Finally in my craft room. Then I did some daily, a line a day journal. Then we watched some TV with the dogs. And finally bed. Whew, that is a lot. A lot. Now, I don't know that I want to just attach these looking like this. Although everything I back this on is going to add space. I think this one I can do like this. Yeah. And I also have to leave room for a little caption underneath. So I wonder, I have a die cut. That they will never fit. But look, I could put it right into this little die cut and have a little caption area underneath it. I'm going to use that for that Little Miss Online Shopping. Should I use one more? Can I use one more, I should say. And then I have some frames. Just some plain frames. Let's see. Let's look at, I don't want it on the same page. And that kind of blends in. So I'm not going to use another one of those. Let's look at the green over here. You know what? I know I wanted it on the other page, but I could do something like this, because this overlaps like that. It's kind of cute. Still fitting things in. All right, what else do I have? I have some circles. I could probably look in my capsule, but this is what I had pulled out to kind of highlight some items. I like that. Okay, I'm going to keep that out. This size circle, I have a circle punch, But I don't like that one. Here's a black and white one. Black and white. Let's see if black and white would work on... What would it work on? It might not. Big idea. No. Here's some smaller circles. That blends in. We just grab a bunch of this stuff and see if there's anything that catches my attention without moving this stuff around too much. Oh, wait, what's that? I'm struggling not having fingernails. And I lost it. Oh, here it is. I could put some ribbon in that. Let's see. That's the only thing small enough. Is that cute? Maybe. I'll add ribbon. I don't think I'll use that. I don't need these. I've already pulled one of those out. Here's blue. Too small. I like this one. Oh, and this too. Does that book look better on that? Yeah. Still has a little punch hole for some ribbon. I liked this. Will that work for this leftovers? Yes. Let me cut that little piece off so I can fit it on there. Okay. What else do I have here? And hey, I like this. I might put that in there somewhere. Bright idea. That's kind of blah. Blah. I could do a half circle somewhere. That might work. Or do I like that better? I do. Minus the tail. Okay. This might be enough from this little bucket or case. Because it's really kind of fallish colors. Here's a pretty green. No, I don't like that. Nope. I'm going to put that back. Here's a blue. Maybe. Yeah, a lot of these are fallish colors. There's a pretty blue. Well, there's a pretty blue too. Does this one fit? Nope. Nope. Okay, I think the sizes are going down. Did I want to? This is kind of big. I don't like the black. Okay, that settles it. How about that? Do I have something? I'm just looking at directional things. Nope. This is too small, too small. It's a pretty color. Oh, it looks like a headboard. Okay, maybe. We'll leave the headboard. Okay. Did I not like this one? Oh, I guess I just couldn't find something to go on it. I'm going to use it there. And I almost thought I wanted to use this one. So I'll have a ribbon here. I don't think there's anything else that would use these. Okay. Woo! I almost dumped that whole thing out. Let's see. I might keep this. I was looking in my capsule, but I can grab this out. Now, do I want to do something on the background now that I've laid all this stuff out? I think no. I think it's very busy. And as long as I highlight the little images, I think I'm going to be good. I don't know if you can see the capsule here, but I know this is all St. Patrick's Day. And then I can't fit it. I have, oh, there's that pencil that I was looking for. Where's the book? I might use that. Oh, it's too big. This can't. Too bad this can't fit. Instead of that, let's see. Dream big. Idea. No, because I have to put little captions underneath these, and I may off camera type those out so that because there's a lot going on in this page. Get my arm out of here. This might work for something. I think it's going to be too big, but if I cut it, no, I'm going to pass on that. Just looking for things to back the photos. I might put those on the page, but I'm tossing them to the side. Here's something that might work. I can trim it. Sort of matches those colors. Water cooler talk. Yes. Is that going to fit? now that I've cut it. Maybe. Or do I want to use it here? No. Okay, let's see. This might work. Take that off for now. What about in my craft room? Yeah, I think I like those better than this. That won't fit, will it? No. Yeah, that might go in the on the day in my regular journal. Oh, look at this. Will one of these work? This is a scoreboard. Life without a motorcycle. Oh, look at that. I can fit, I'll make it a little frame. Right like that. Let's see if it'll fit. It'll be 1 and 1. I can trim more around this, but let's see if it'll play. I'm going to play it out and see. Life without a motorcycle. Yeah, that's going to be different. That's all St. Patrick's Day stuff. Okay, I think that's all the stuff from there that I can pull. I have this box of things to go through. Well, here's a black and white. Use that there. No. I think that size is going to hinder me. That's pretty. These are pretty, but they're too big. So I think I'm going to set that one aside. What else do I have there? I have this. I also have a ton of stuff from Messy Missy Creates in her pocket letter swap. And I have decided that I am going to use those items. Let me look at these stamps. Oh, maybe I can use one of these. Let's see. Some of the stuff maybe it doesn't need to be backed, but how about a postmark on vacation time? Maybe. I could cut something out. I think I'm good with the way this is coming out. Oh, but hold on. I like that against that color. Let me cut it out. This is not, Melissa sent me some paint chips, but she made tags out of them in yellow. I'm loving those. So yes, I'm going to use it. I don't want to have another notebook that I have to keep up with. I think that's just going to be my personal choice. I know that she was talking about possibly making a binder to keep them. Okay, I like that. Get rid of some of this trash. And let me cut this one out. I'm probably going to need it pretty close. It did fit. Cut it about right there. Put that aside. My magazine images that I just find and set aside. Okay. And do I want to break that out? Now she had this beautiful envelope. Look. I wonder. Look at all this goodness. Ooh, that's bright, but you know what? I'm going to cut this out. Right about, oh, I'm sorry, you couldn't see. This is the envelope that Melissa sent my pocket letter in. Isn't that so cute? And I'm going to use this corner of it to attach this clock to. Yep. So I only need a little bit of it. Don't want to waste. I can't get this in frame because I want to keep these sort of intact. But I am going to trim this here and here. Come on. Okay. So I spent so much time looking for a clock that said 5:45, and then the bedtime one. It doesn't. What time is that? 10. It looks like 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. And I think I went to bed a little later than that, but 10 is usually my limit. Yep, I went to bed at 10:30. A day in my life. Wake up at 6:45. I need something to back these because they don't stand out very good. All right, I am going to attach some of these things so I know what goes together with what. So the clock I know is definitely going on this. I'm going to attach it. So I have that together. And I believe this is going to go on here. Let me trim it up a little more. There. Here. That way, maybe I can trim it down a little more. Yeah. Trim it from this. All right, let me attach it, and then I'll trim it up. Attach it right here. I'm sorry, I'm just out of frame because of all this stuff. Okay. Water cooler. That's good. Oh, the motorcycle. This one I need to center, so I don't think you can see where I am right now. There's that one. Yeah, I think that'll be just fine. I'm going to attach that. Like that. I don't have anything for that. I don't have anything for that. The leftovers is just a sticker. I can attach that. right there. That's not attached. This is cute, but I'm not going to be able to attach it except to one little edge right there. Okay, I think that's good. This carnival ticket, I liked it offset some. And I can write a little bit. I want to push that up a little. Okay. There. This, I can just trim. See, this is just a piece of paper on the back here. Let me see if I can just attach it a little. Right there. I'll trim it off so we don't see it. And attach a little corner here. Yep. And then I can put that sticker, the idea sticker on. Bright idea. What else? What else? What else? Here's another little cluster that I like. So I know I want her offset here. I'm just putting a little piece of glue there to attach it. A little piece of glue here. And then on this side of the frame, right about there, I'm just tacking it down. And then I am going to trim around this frame to get rid of some of that excess. Somebody just pinged me. We're leaving Friday with my daughter's group. We trim some of that off of her head. And so they're blowing everybody up today. And then I attached this. Kind of, because that was concurrent. I was cooking and going through her book bag. And now I need to attach the frame. Right there. Whoops. About like that. This can get attached. This is a lot. My goodness. I needed a tip in or something. I'm not going to do a tip in, but or had less clip art. But you see what I mean, that in any given day, let me trim that up a little. There's so much that goes on. So we watched TV. What else needs to be glued? That's paper. How do I want this? Maybe I can do it like this. Yes. Okay, I can do the whole thing. Like that. And then this. Offset. The little headboard. Down there. I think that's everything I decided to put together. Oh, you know what? I'm going to piece that together because I want it to kind of stay in that little area that after I submitted my evaluation, I've been working on it for a couple weeks. I was like, whew, took some stretches. Okay, Let me get rid of this little bit of trash. Now, what else? What else? Do I want to... everything else that is not backed, like this I think stands out pretty good. This does not. And what about a stamp? Is that big enough for a stamp? I could offset it. All right, I'll use that pink stamp. Offset it maybe a little. Okay, something like that. See, I'm holding it so I keep the placement that I had. Okay, there's that. What else? I think the two spreadsheet ones are okay. Get my glue stick to do this one. I'm just going to put glue on it. And then offset the book. There we go. All right, what else? I don't know that I need that. I liked this for whatever reason. I wonder if my date stamp would look good on that. I'm going to stamp it before I glue it, just to make sure. Oh, sorry, I have to open a drawer and this book is in the way. Okay, here is the date stamp. Okay, let's see, it is now March. This was March 19th. I think that's 19. Let's just do a practice on something. And oh, that's great. Yeah, March 19th. Let me get a baby wipe because, or here, this will work. I don't want that to get all over my book. All right, so the date is March 19th, and I want to try to stamp it on this. Now, if this goes on the top, which I think it will, the date will go about right there. Oh, whew. Barely fit. I'm going to leave that to dry because I don't know if this is going to smudge. So sometimes if you let it dry, it won't smudge. Okay, so I've got the date. Get this put away. I hope that I could always put a little piece of tape over it. I'm still going to leave it dry. So I like that. Oh, I want this little pencil for the diary or journal. It's one of those 5-year journals because at the end of 5 years, I will be absolutely for sure retired. I'm trying to retire earlier than that, but it doesn't appear that that's going to work out. And believe it or not, I've said this talked with this about with many people. It's not due to funding, because I have provisions in place. It's the health insurance. What am I going to do for health insurance is what it boils down to. Okay, now what about this? I want this to stand out bright and bold. I've got all these colors to pull from, and it doesn't really matter because there's so many different colors. Let's see. I have these things still from Melissa. Nothing that I want to cut apart for that, okay? She sent me these. I could put the little check marks next to it. That's going to be probably too big. And what would the purpose of the check marks be? Doesn't have to have a purpose, does it? I guess not. So I'm going to pass on that. Okay. Let me just go to a color. Let's have a very bright color. And I don't think I have anything in there big enough. I have this hot pink. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Hot pink it is. Okay. Let's get this down. I have no idea how long this video is going to end up being because I know I'm going to speed up that part where I was cutting all these things out. So, yeah, I'm just noting the time. I'm actually liking this. Let's see. Wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it, but what is it? Why can I not? Okay, look at that. Save this little piece. Is there anything left that needs to be? It's kind of cute. Even though it doesn't go all the way down, I think it's, whoops. What is it? Why can't I cut crooked? I think it's my eyes. Even though it doesn't go all the way down, I still like it. So let me attach this. Just get it where it was. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to start putting some things down on this side, the left side, because I know I'm not going to fuss over that. There's that. And then wake up at 6:45. I am going to have to put the captions type them out. 6:45. Listen to AJ's Inspired Life. And it's not always AJ, it's other YouTubers too. Just whatever's new. If I have time, I put one on. Why is that? Oh, I didn't put glue there. Stay down. I held it a second. Okay. And then, keeps wanting to pop up. There we go. I think that's going to work. And then off to work. Hi ho, hi ho. I almost want something up here, a little bow or something. Let's see. I haven't pulled out more ribbons. Oh, but this was in my capsule. This was off of that M&M bag that I got in New York. That's going to be way too bulky. Let's see. I have this that I've been trying to figure out how to store. What could I use? That's pretty. It kind of blends in though. How about this one? And I'm just going to staple it, I think. Don't want it to be huge. Let me staple it and then I'll trim it. There we go. And you know what, I'm going to trim both sides down that way and that way. And glue this down. And it can overlap that a little bit. What was next? Oh, spreadsheets. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that one. My eyes tend to cross when I'm working on spreadsheets, but it's part of it. Then I think it was break time. Water cooler talk. I have to leave space for a little caption there. And then life without a motorcycle. I think this better be my glue stick. It's because it's paper. Yep. Oops, let me not put it on there upside down. Get as far over as I can. Some of these are popping up. I'm probably not putting enough glue down this side too. There we go. Whoops. Now the leftovers for lunch. Oh, I think I'm just not getting to the edge. Leftovers. And then more spreadsheets. Fun times. Oh, I gotta leave a little space at the bottom for a caption. Okay. Now, let me get this out of the way. And some of this little stuff. So I'm just going to glue them down. And I might speed through this section too to save time on the video. Now, I'm going to need some pretty thin ribbon. Let's spread that out some more. So I'm going to go to this stack again, because I think I had some pretty thin in here. Look at these. That could work. I think I'm going to use this blue here. Let me pop that little hole out. Get this in here. Trim it off. And I think instead of tying it, I'm going to staple it again. Just tack it down. This one was going here. I think I have put a hole in my glue bottle with that pin. Darn it. Maybe that pin is not such a great idea. Let's see. Bedtime. Right there. And what do I have for this one? I have this lime green. No. I know what. Look at this orange. It ties in with that. I'm going to use this orange. Pop that little thing out. And this one I will tie. Because it's so thin. And me and bows do not get along. But I don't know what it is. My finger's getting it in the way or something. All right. Trim that up. And set this aside again. And get this glued down. Make sure I get a little more glue on that pencil. That kind of goes hand in hand with my crafting. There. Okay, I think this is going to be the last little bit. I do want to add this here for my journal theme. So I'm going to put a line of glue along that flag line. And like I said, because I've spent so much time cutting out and that, I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. So I am going to edit those two parts out a bit. Come on. There. Woo. Let me get this in there. There. Very cute. Okay, so I'm going to type in my little captions and get them cut out and put underneath here. I'll do well, I've already got it, a day in my life. I don't know if that goes. Oh, and I do have to make sure. Let's see. Oh, look at that. It did smudge. I should have put tape over it. I'm going to put tape right over it right now. Let's see how bad that looks. I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to put that on this page up here. Hoping my wireless microphone has held out for this entire time. Should. I haven't had much trouble with it lately, but I do have trouble with it from time to time. We'll see the next time I go to open this glue if it's not good, because I do think I poked a hole in there when I stuck the pin. Okay, so that is that. That is the theme for March, and a little challenge to document a day in your life. Okay, I'm going to sign off, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.